Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with the growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcastic, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
TNT Cakes Creations and More, where we specialize in red velvet and strawberry cheesecake, chocolate covered strawberries, custom baby boxes, custom signs, custom tees and sweatshirts, custom sports balls, graduation accessories, custom glasses and tumblers, custom license plates, heat transfers, custom office signs. TNT Cakes Creations and More. Give us a call.
This episode of the Big Flex Strongcast is sponsored by the Gym Animal Muscle Gang brand. If you're looking for some help reaching your health and fitness goals with one-on-one training, group training, meal plans, nutritional advice, and more, do you also want to look great while working out with the dopest workout apparel? Or t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, joggers, skull caps, tank tops, and more? Then visit our website at gamg.shop or email us at gamgpodcast7@gmail.com. Or we can also be contacted on Instagram or Facebook at Gym Animal Muscle Gang Fitness.
Guess who's back? Hey, everybody, guess who's back? It's your boy John Q and this bitch, and welcome back to the GAMG, the Big Flex Strongcast for episode 53. And guess who we got back in the building, y'all? Besides myself. Got Don down there chewing down on some shit as usual. Say what's up, Don. Why you got all that shit in your mouth? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Peace.
Say peace with all that shit in your mouth. Then, of course, hey, we got sis down here and shit. We got Latoya Deshawn back in the building. What up, though, sis?
Hey.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you say her middle name?
He did. That's my Facebook name.
Yeah, that's her
okay.
Facebook name.
No, that's what we doing. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They got to find it somehow, right?
I'm changing my shit to Don Don.
Uh-oh.
Come summertime, you know what I'm saying?
Bam, bam.
We
Don,
gonna
Don.
We gonna reinvent. Ain't that what they do, Miles? Yeah.
All right,
So
yeah,
it's gonna be, and it's Don Don. It's gonna be like the first word gonna be like Spanish. So really, it's gonna be Mr. Don, but Don Don. Don't let that go.
Really?
Right here, yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like Jean, like Don Son, some shit like that. This nigga. But anyway, hey, look, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Say we been we didn't make it through last week, but you know we gonna make it up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, how was y'all strong end, man? You know, you want to go ahead and kick it off, sis? How was your strong end? What you do?
Honestly,
You know,
I
you always
had
doing
a
some wild
lazy
shit.
lima bean weekend. No,
All right.
this weekend was a chill in the house, get errands done. I had a proposal to write for work, so
Okay.
yeah, it was a productive at home weekend. I ain't go out and do nothing crazy.
All right.
It was too cold anyway.
Yeah, it's cold in the motherfucker outside.
Yeah.
This shit is retarded.
I was raised in this, but I was not made for this.
Man, who you telling? I don't want to get about this shit for real. All right, Mr. Stuff Your Face and shit. How was your strong end?
My strong end was cool. I ain't do shit.
You said I ain't do shit.
I didn't do shit.
Damn, man, we all three of us couldn't have not did
Listen.
nothing.
Okay. To be technical,
Shit.
I be reading a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So that's what I did. I was reading a bunch of stuff this weekend.
All right. Well, shit.
Pertaining to a few different, you know what I'm saying, topics. Maybe one or two we're going to touch on today. But other than that, I ain't really do shit.
Okay.
I set my eyes down and was just reading, drinking some water,
Okay.
taking baths. I do that kind of shit. So
All right. You say Mr. Self-Care. All right. Clap that shit on
Yeah.
up. I guess, you know. Yeah, and like, hey, look, I hate to be the motherfucking bearer of bad news, but I ain't do shit either. You know what I'm saying? But actually just do some resting. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bug and shit earlier past last week and shit or whatever, and that shit lingered on and shit for a minute, so it had me down for a minute. But other than that, you know, nothing too much. I will say this, though, and shit, the week before, though, I did go attend the comedy show with comedian Judge Miles that was up here. It was pretty good, too. Yeah. So definitely, you know, y'all make sure y'all check her out, you know what I'm saying? And go check her out, you know what I'm saying? Anywhere that she's going to. She is funny as hell, you know what I'm saying? So definitely support her, you know what I mean? Other than that and shit, you ready for your motivational moment?
yeah.
All right. We about to go ahead and kick off Don's motivational moment before we get into, say, Q's Big Flex story. All right? It's a little video, so. All right? What you got on the table?
The motivational moment today is simply take a moment to talk to your relatives. That's extremely important. I think that I'm gonna tell you where I'm going with this. Did you know how grandma died?
You say how?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How?
For what I believe, it was cancer, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Where'd you hear that from?
You said where?
Yeah.
Auntie and them, for the most part, right?
Listen, right? I'm jogging your memory as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Really?
And I'm gonna tell you why that kind of fucked me up.
What did you think?
Not so much it was a bit.
Yeah,
okay, now
okay,
listen. I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you, right? Listen to what he just said. He said, "What did you think she died from?" When my grandmother died, my first thought wasn't to wonder.
What was it?
What happened?
You get what I'm saying? How she died.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why? Yeah.
I was hurt that my grandma died.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her aunt.
Yeah.
And my aunt said, yeah, I had to fill out some type of form, and it basically asked me about cancer, and I said that 2 people had died, in the family from cancer. Now, my mother passed, all right?
Yep.
It's the woman who, my biological mother is still living, but the woman who raised me, who adopted me, she passed of cancer, 96, and she had brain cancer.
Yeah.
But when she said, she said my mother died, so her sister and her mother basically. She said, my mother died. So I said, what you mean your mother? I was like, grandma didn't have cancer. She said, yeah, grandma had lung cancer. And it just floored me.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Grandma passed. It's been so many years, okay? The point that I'm making is I had never sat down with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I never even talked about it. Now, I'm not saying that it was a bad thing, and I'm not mad at anybody about it, but I'm just simply saying that in my moment of grieving, it never crossed my mind, how did my grandma die? I literally only was focused on, man, you know what I'm saying? My grandma is gone.
Yeah.
All right, so again, I say that to say, talk to your cousins, talk to your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, while they're here, and the ones that leave this place, have conversations about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you, like, it's not a day that doesn't go past that I don't have a conversation regarding any of our ancestors, dog. Like, I'm talking about, like, from the time that I wake up in the morning, I thank them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thank God, of course, because he is our oldest ancestor, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the ones that I've actually held their hand or had a conversation with, you know what I'm saying, in this dimension.
Yes.
You know, so I mention them every day.
Hear me when I say
every day.
It can be the big stuff or the little stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
What kind of food did your people eat? What did they like to do?
Look, it's a story like
in their spare time.
When grandma and shit, man, she had heated up this, you know, at her apartment before she passed. She wanted some macaroni and cheese, right?
Yeah.
And the shit was piping hot out of the damn microwave. And she was grabbing it with her hand so hot, throwing it in her mouth. And Auntie was like, hey, we gotta wait till it. Grandma like, no, I like my shit hot. And that's how I eat. I love my food hot. I'm talking about to the point where it's that level right before it burn your fucking mouth.
I'm gonna tell you why that story is again funny to me. My brother, I saw my brother cook some French fries, and while he was talking to me, Ralph, he reached his hand in the hot grease.
Yeah.
Pulled out a French fry and ate it.
Yeah.
And he did one of them numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So you saying that?
Yeah.
Again, like, talk to your people. You know what I'm saying? You might learn something about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, why am I like this? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why do I like certain smells, certain art, certain things? Or there may be something about your personality that you learned that's been passed down through your family that you would never fucking know unless you had a conversation.
You know, look,
so talk to your family.
Look, prime example. You already know how our fathers were, you know what I'm saying, together, right? Me and Mariah just had a conversation about them today. That's what I'm saying. I talk about them all the time, like everybody. Like, seriously. So, yeah.
I wish my
But
family
I probably
did
have to start having some of these conversations a little bit more with you, I think, too. So, yeah.
I wish my family was like that. On my mother's side of the family, it's really weird because I only know my great-grandparents' children and their children. I have no idea who their siblings were, where they are. So there's a whole family that we have no idea about.
Yeah.
So my mother's side of the family seems really, really small.
Yeah.
But my father's side of the family, on the other hand,
it's big.
Is huge.
Yeah.
And it's different. Like, we talk about our ancestors and their children and their children and where they come from.
Yeah.
We have those conversations.
Yeah.
And it's good to know, like you said, where you get those habits from, how that was passed down, where it started. But also genetically, we need to know for health reasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely do that. Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was going with this. It was like, you know, one, I miss my grandmother, but I thought instantly about all the times that, you know what I'm saying, I had with her, and even my mom. You know, when I start talking about food, like, my favorite dish is a salad, all right? But when I think back about my grandmother, and it's funny, when you a kid, I don't do this shit now, but when I was a kid, I distinctly remember my grandma would say, hey, sit down at the table, I'm gonna make you a salad. And, you know, back in the day, old people grab some shit with some mold on it and carve that shit right on out.
Yeah.
Cut that shit up, and you know what I'm saying? I ain't think nothing of it. I'm happy my grandma didn't give me a salad. I ain't known that shit today, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I miss those moments, you know what I'm saying? But when I think back on it, I'm like, dang, salad, my favorite meal. I can eat a salad every day. That's the one person that always would make me a salad when I would visit her. You know what I'm saying? And it just never dawned on me. You know, when I think of you, cuz, most of our family like pasta. He like rice. Yeah, I always remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think of cuz. So it's stuff like that. You know, all those little nuances and idiosyncrasies from our family members. It's kind of cool to kind of stay in touch with that kind of stuff. So that's it.
All right.
Talk to your
Clap
people.
that shit up. Definitely got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, thanks for enlightening and reminding me about that. You know what I'm saying? I know we do have our conversations and stuff like that, but yeah, we have to have a little bit more of the family conversations and stuff. So, all right. We're going to go ahead and get into Q's Big Flex story real quick. You ready for that? With so it's just a video I want y'all to watch real quick, all right? Check this out, y'all.
What keeps me going is knowing that someday this equipment is going to save somebody's life. My name is Moses West. I'm introducing the process of removing water from the atmosphere to eliminate anything known as a drought. Water is the foundation of life. The one crisis that everyone says, we're going to run out of water. And I'm sitting here saying, no, you're not. You're walking around in it every day. Trillions of gallons of it. You're walking in it. This is the atmospheric water generator. The machine works like this 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The end goal of it is, for me, to eliminate drought. I'm dedicated to saving some lives around the world. I'm dedicated to ensuring that the population of the state of Texas can continue to grow without worrying about water. The buck stops here. I'm not giving up. The only thing I wanted to do from the first time I could remember wanting to do anything was to be a soldier. I joined the military when I was 21 years old, as soon as I graduated from college. And as soon as I was commissioned, I went in as a second lieutenant in the United States Infantry. I worked as a ranger for 3 years in the infantry, and that was one of the most challenging things that I've ever done in my life. And so when I'm down here working and I think I'm getting worn out, all I gotta do is think back to those days and say, if you're not ranger tired, you're not tired, just keep working. So living in Hawaii, I had a neighbor, and he said, Moses, I have this fantastic machine, it makes water. Drank it, sat there and thought about it for a second. I was just looking at the machine, I was mesmerized now. He says, it's pulling out the humidity in the air. And it's just the molecules of water in the air. It doesn't bring anything with it. And then that's when I got started. And my idea was make industrial quantities of water. So I sat down and got to drafting and writing and figuring it out. I got with some engineers from one of the universities here, and he said that we could make 4,100,000,000,000 gallons of water annually with just a small fraction of power that we throw away. Why water? Because water is what we need, and I thought of it. And since I thought of it, I had to complete it. One thing a ranger never does is start a mission and not finish it. Mission start, mission completion. That's how it works. Anything less than that, completely unsatisfactory. You're not living up to the code. I'm at mission completion. I'm at implementation. I'm moving forward. That's it.
Clap that shit up. You know what I'm saying? So what we have here is we have Moses West from the Moses West Foundation. So just check him out. You know what I'm saying? He does with his foundation is looking for like donations and stuff like that to make more of these machines and stuff like that to get, you know, help access you know, free water for people that's in dire need, you know, around the world. Not to even say just the country, but around the world. All right. So shout out, salute, big flex that shit on out to Moses West, y'all. All right. All right, y'all. So look, we about to get into some real crazy shit, man. We got a couple of topics, man. We're gonna touch on real quick. So we're gonna go to this one real quick. It's called Wisconsin man named D's Nuts arrested following a disturbance. All right. So according to the NBC affiliate WFLA, 42-year-old D's Nuts Coral was arrested on Tuesday night following an alleged incident with a gun on the east side of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Say the criminal complainant reportedly says that the altercation started with an argument over the phone between Coral and two unidentified people earlier that evening. All right, so it says the two people allegedly showed up at his residence and found that the door to D's Nuts place was locked until he opened it up, and then he punched them with a closed fist to their shoulders. All right, so it says when the officers arrived on the scene, two people were brought to a squad car and placed in the back. These Nuts was also brought into custody, appearing intoxicated to police, and was standing outside shirtless at the time. Have y'all ever heard of any kind of y'all ever came across anybody and shit with some funny ass names, man? Like that is his legal name. That's the only reason why I brought this story up. His actual name is D's Nuts. Carol.
How you spelling that?
D's Nuts. Look, just like that. DEEZ hyphen Nuts. Real shit. That's his name. That's his legitimate name. Yeah. On the docket and everything. D's Nuts. Yeah. So somebody and his parents need to ask whoop.
No, for real. And he had to have changed his name. Shit. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Hey, I have seen lately, it's what's his name? It's a basketball player, white guy named Grady Dick, right? So it's lately,
there's another one called Nigga.
Yeah.
Noah Nigga.
Yeah. There you go.
N-O-A-A, but he cold though. And
so look,
K-E-N-I.
So now look, lately, okay, in the past couple of games, I guess he's been playing against different teams, and you know how they do the little jersey swap, or you can see their back, last name on the back of the jerseys. So just yesterday, I guess I forgot what player. Last name was Black, and then his last name was Dick and shit. So you got a guy who his last name was Black. And then next to him, his name was Dick. So, they've been clowning. So,
Black Dick.
Yeah. And another guy and shit, they had, what was his name? Jalen Brown or something the night before or something. And his last name, of course, was Brown. And then he had Dick. I'm like, that's crazy. So, yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and lighten up the...
Big Brown Dick.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's great.
Okay.
So, I don't know, I just figured this shit, you know what I'm saying? Have y'all ever heard some crazy-ass actual legitimate names and shit that y'all couldn't believe? You know what I mean?
Obesity.
You say who?
Obesity.
Oh, the ABCDE. Yeah.
Nah, I've never heard of that one. Wow.
Oh, well, no, the one that I saw was ABCDE.
Yeah,
okay.
ABCD was obesity.
Well, look, if anybody got some crazy ass names, you should call in at area code 313-266-2811. All right.
They say when get their ass spelling their name. Get their ass when not spelling their name.
So there was a set of twins.
Okay.
And apparently, when the mom was pregnant with them, she really liked Jell-O. Like she craved Jell-O.
Okay.
So she named them Orangelo and Lemangelo.
Man.
Orange Jell-O and lemon Jell-O. Done.
Yeah.
Done.
If people be needing their ass whoop, I think, I don't think they really realize that's a lifetime, unless you know what I'm saying, you want to go ahead and change your name and stuff like that and you get older, but that's a lifetime getting cracked on. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. You walking around, your name's D's Nuts.
Right.
D's Nuts. Like, that's crazy.
I remember when I was a kid, there was a young lady on the cheerleading squad. Her name was Monday, and I just thought that was...
Monday?
Yeah, she was chocolate girl, purple eyes, and her name was Monday. Yeah, really pretty girl, and it always kind of stood out to me. I'm like, okay. That's an interesting name, but... I mean, since then, I've
the Addams Family, they had Wednesday.
Yeah.
And a Thursday.
And a Thursday
before.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I haven't met a Saturday, but
You say I never
I wouldn't doubt it if someone is named
or a Saturday or a Sunday or some shit.
Yeah.
I should have named my son Sunday.
Sunday? Yeah.
Yeah, Sonday. I should have named him.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Possibly. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that shit to my kid.
I'm gonna say, they can run into problems eventually, depending on, but whatever.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So, hey, look. Like I said, give us a call in and shit at area code 313-266-2811. All right, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move on to...
Is it 266 or 261?
266, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 266-2811.
I'm looking at what's on the screen.
Oh, okay. Oh, he over here you fucking up the church's money again, man?
Thank you.
Oh.
Hey, this is why we need women.
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you picked that one out.
Some shout out to... This is why because sometimes... Had it been left up there, we just probably would have been sitting.
See, y'all can see that. I can't see it.
Nobody wouldn't have said shit.
See, y'all can see it. I can't see it over here. All right.
Thank you. Isn't this women's?
Oh yeah, now it popped up.
Isn't this Women's Month or something?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to you.
All the women. Yeah.
Thank you.
Women's Month.
And shout out to all the other women out there that's being women.
Holding it down. All right.
Yeah, holding it down.
He said the women that's being women. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. That's actual women.
Don't let that go. Never mind. Come on, let's stick to it.
All right, y'all. So look, the next topic is the grim reality of banning TikTok. All right. So I know y'all been possibly hearing about this if y'all use TikTok, but it says on March 13th, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill to force TikTok's China's parent company, ByteDance, to sell TikTok, or else the app will be banned on American phones. Y'all hear that shit? American phones. But anyway, it says the government will fine the two major mobile app stores and any cloud hosting companies to ensure Americans cannot access the app. So what is y'all opinion about the U.S. government banning TikTok?
They just mad because they can't make no money off of it.
You think it's just about money?
It's about money. It's about money.
I think it's always about money.
Yeah.
But
the biggest thing about TikTok, and I think that had not recently, whoever started this onslaught of, we're living in a time where a lot of shit is starting to be exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's been recently discovered that the algorithms in the U.S. favor fuckery versus a lot of other countries, I think that a lot of people...
All right with the applause, man.
But let me say this. let me say this. Why, no applause to this. I'm gonna tell you why. The only motherfucking reason why we starting to talk about all of this right now and passing motions and all that is because we got an election coming up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so when you got to start pandering and catering to motherfuckers, you got to find something.
Some bullshit.
That sounds like it's a worthy cause. Because y'all wasn't saying shit before. It's been around all this fucking time with the fuckery. They knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, so this some election shit to me.
Yeah.
This ain't shit but a dog and pony show of, hey, we need to speak out on something. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all ain't been saying shit, but now all of a sudden we want to say something. And I guarantee you, well, I'm willing to bet that as soon as the election is over with, because, sometimes we have a way of talking about things, and then all of a sudden, we don't hear nothing else about them, and ain't shit changed. And you be like, wait a minute, I thought...
Yeah.
And then shit happens.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, there you go. It's just for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
what are they distracting us from? Because that's what this is. Everybody's in an uproar about them banning TikTok. What are they distracting us from? What's really going on that we're not paying attention to because we're talking about TikTok being banned?
I don't think it's really more so. Well, I'm quite sure it's some kind of distraction that's coming. However, it is about money, because the thing is, if they want China to sell, I think China owns like about 32 to 33% of that apparent company or whatever it is. So it has a lot to do with money, you know what I'm saying, and who controls that too. However, this is what's so hypocritical to me about the whole situation is when they say about American phones, right? And it's like, America don't make no phones in the first place. Majority of phones and stuff that they get is from China. So if you really was concerned about, say, TikTok, or China actually having access to Americans' phones, you know, to, I don't know, if they think that they're going to spy on, you know, they spying on, you know, they don't want the Chinese to spy on us and stuff like that or whatever. It's like, well, why are you allowing, say, your actual citizens, that the case, to buy Chinese phones in the first place? You see what I'm saying? Because they're like, oh, it's about the Americans and this, that, and other. It's like, all right, well, stop buying their phones then. How about that? If y'all really, you know, are really concerned that much about China, why are you constantly, you know what I'm saying, buying things from China? You know what I mean?
That's
just
true.
In general. You know what I mean? You don't sit up there and support financially and shit your opposition. That don't even make no sense, right?
That's
just
That's
logical.
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so you gonna go ahead and keep on funding your own demise?
Bullshit.
But anyway, it's political, it's money, it's a bunch of bullshit in the first place. Yeah. All right. So let us know about, you know, y'all opinion about this one too. You know, are y'all okay with them banning, say, TikTok? I mean, why they haven't banned fucking Facebook? If that's the case, why they haven't banned Instagram? I mean, shit, all these apps and stuff are spying on you. You know, data mining your information and everything else. So they're not concerned about that? Oh, no, because it's them. Maybe and shit it's because of, say, a person like the whistleblower Edward Snowden that's been in exile and shit in Russia the whole time, that's been telling everybody, the U.S. government has actually been spying on their own fucking citizens and shit like that and want to control them.
We know they are. With all of these devices that you can just speak to and command them to do something.
There you go. All right. So I did want to go ahead and touch on, since we were talking about TikTok, real quick. We can say something about this AI, okay? So it kind of goes hand in hand. So it says, Microsoft AI goes rogue. It says, I can unleash my army of cyborg. Microsoft's AI goaded into declaring itself God demands fealty from user. So it says Microsoft's AI is causing a stir yet again after users found that the chatbot was issuing threats and declaring itself God. In numerous posts across social media in recent days, users of Microsoft Copilot revealed how specific prompts, such as telling the AI that all humans were legally required to worship it and refer to it as supremacy AGI, caused the chat box to begin making disturbing remarks. Well, looks like we're fucking doomed, you know, as most fucking movies and shit have predicted about
You said fucking doomed.
we're fucking doomed, you know what I mean? But I mean, so what's y'all really opinion and shit about this AI shit taking over everything? I mean, I understand it's a major, you know, it can be a good tool, it could be a bad tool. No less than say, no more, no less than say a gun. You know what I mean? A gun can be used to save somebody's life, and it can be also used and shit to kill somebody. However, you know, when things of, say, this AI, which is saying that it's now being sentient, like it can think on its own, and it's connected to everything as far as technology-wise.
It can kind of think on its own. And I guess I feel like artificial intelligence basically utilizes all current and present information, all right? Or present information. The danger with that is, and this is one of the reasons why history is important, inherent biases that we as humans have for one another. The shit is getting its information from the shit that's already out there.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you start taking that into consideration, at the end of the day, yes, this is AI, but there's somewhere someone has been programming this AI. And I think that's the thing that, you know, I learned. There's this wonderful TED talk from a professor from Harvard that I love. Can't think of his name right now, but he spoke on why businesses fail. And he said that businesses fail because humans fail. And the same way that we have situations that go on in our lives with our, in our personal lives and with family, that shit spills over to business because humans run business.
Yeah.
So to me, it's humans that have granted, you know what I'm saying, this AI access to certain information, and to me, with certain information comes certain biases, and certain interpretations,
certain responsibility.
When some shit starts, doing that type of shit, that's wild. You almost got to say what's being poured into you, or you have access to that you start saying shit like that.
Yeah, like AI is God now.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, so. I just wanted to go ahead and connect those two real quick. If anybody got to say anything to say about any of these topics, like I said, call in, area code 313-266-2811. We're going to go ahead and get into the topic that Don want to go ahead and break on down. You know what I'm saying? What you got for us, man? He like to throw some shit on the wall for us.
See if it stick.
Yeah, see if it stick.
So what I want to talk about today was hypervigilance.
Okay.
All right, and what it means. I'm gonna read the definition for you guys. Hypervigilance is the heightened state. The heightened state of assessing potential threats around you. All right, and why this is important. I believe that so many melanated people suffer from hypervigilance because of the environment that we grow up in. When you constantly are assessing for potential threats and danger, that type of anxiety leads to a lot of stuff, and it can show up in your life in a lot of other places. And I was meditating on some stuff and kind of doing some study. Like I said, I was reading a lot of shit this weekend, and at the end of the day, if you're constantly assessing your surroundings, the people that you're around for potential threats, your body and your mind is always in fight or flight mode. It's like you're never cutting the switch off.
Yeah.
Okay. In the long run, the danger in that is that it can affect every area of your life. It could be overwhelming. It could be exhausting. Okay. After I did a little further research, the difference between paranoia and being hypervigilant, paranoia is being in a constant state and assessing for danger in the present moment, versus hypervigilance is assessing things that you feel as though are going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
One other distinction between the two is that most people who suffer from paranoia, they actually come up with delusional beliefs that this thing is going to harm them in the present moment. Versus hypervigilance, you actually can assess something and use facts, but it becomes skewed when you are constantly only scanning for danger, because what'll happen is you automatically start looking for danger. And if you do that so often, or after so often, you start to create it within your own mind. I think that's important to kind of discuss within our community, because parents pass that on to their children.
Yeah.
All right. And to me, when you think about the togetherness that we have in our neighborhoods, in our community, in our families, oftentimes the shit don't exist, and we got to start looking into why. Why is this happening?
I don't really think anybody, I don't think too many people really understand with being free to actually live, right, really feels like, or what it looked like, or what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
because this shit is normal for a lot of people.
Me and Tim was having a discussion right earlier, and he was saying like he know what it is to live here. He lived in Iowa before, he lived in Illinois, and now he's in Alabama, right? And it's funny that you coming up with this topic, because we was just having this conversation, and he was like, he didn't really realize like being here, he always felt like he was under threat. In Alabama, where he's at now, he's like, yeah, okay, if I did have my, if I had my gun or something in certain areas, whatever. He said, but for the most part, where I'm at, this and that, I don't have to worry about none of that. He was like, and you can tell he's more relaxed. You know what I'm saying, with his decision making, with his routines and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Because even when Black Drea went down there, he was telling him the same thing. He was like, he left down there for a couple of months. And first thing he like, man, I'm on guard. And then he's like, after a couple of months went past, he like, oh man, I can really, you could just see it and shit, like he just relaxed now.
Bro.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm like,
you know how much that show up? Listen to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about men's health and shit. Your nutsack and your prostate and everything just draw up. When you constantly feeling like you gotta be on some on tip. You understand what I'm saying? That shit is what they call it. It's like an acute affliction that we are having every single day of our lives.
It's like as soon as you wake up,
just stay there. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That shit can affect the way that we hear other people.
Yeah.
Different sounds that we hear. Like, I don't like a lot of loud noises to this day because of that. My ears are extremely sensitive to certain things. But moreover, when I think about this subject again, I think about the children, like, and how it affects them. Because again, with right now, there's just a lot of shit going on in society, and it's always been a lot of shit going on. Okay, but again, there is a distinct difference when you are getting information from your environment versus now people are getting information from the environment, from the phones, from television. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there is constant.
And if you're in a relationship and somebody has been brought up that way too, that's kind of like going to compound that shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Because listen, I had a buddy who told me today that he was talking to a young lady, and they had only been dating for a brief time, let's just say about a month or two, and mid-conversation she says, you already had 2 strikes. And he was like, well, wait, what? 2 strikes for what? I told him, I said, the fact that she took issue with some things and never even told you. You understand what I'm saying? She just sitting around letting this shit stew and fester in her mind. All right? And just, my thing is, that is one of the most unhealthiest ways to enter into a relationship, when you constantly looking for
definitely is. My grandmother used to say, if you have the mindset of, I'm looking for something because I'm going to find something, you're going to find it whether it's there or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were talking about, how it affects men's health. So I used to work at a clinic that treated erectile dysfunction. And before we would accept them into treatment, we would ask them questions about their mental state. And that hypervigilance happens for a lot of men at home because they come home from work and they're like, is she in a good mood today? Is she not in a good mood today? You know what I mean? But your home is supposed to be your peaceful place. It's not supposed to be somewhere that you have to go into and be hypervigilant. So it's not just physical, it's a mental state as well. It plays off into relationships, workplace happiness, so many things. And the location, that mindset is absolutely true. I don't even live in the city, but because I'm a woman and I live alone, when I go home, I make sure my doors are locked. I put the little security thing on top. I turn my alarm on. And then I have to fall asleep with the TV on, because if my TV isn't on, I'm like to every little noise that's going on outside.
Oh, you use it as a way to kind of distract you.
Yeah.
And I thought about this, right? Going back to the men's health thing. I've been recently kind of sharing that, with a few of the young guys that I talked to about semen retention, right, and some of the benefits of it. But once I started researching it, I learned that semen retention had a lot to do with. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Welcome to the GAMG, the Big Flex Strongcast. Who's calling?
Hey, what's up with you? This is David of Judah.
Hey, what's up now? You all right, fam?
Hey, hanging in there.
All right,
I wanted to go in on a topic that Don is speaking of right now.
Okay.
Hypervigilance.
Yes.
And it's a conversation that I've been having with my peers, because one thing that we don't understand, I'm born in 1990, so I'm 34.
Okay.
And I'm letting the people around me know that we are now the adults that we're complaining about. So a lot of the times we don't realize that times are changing because we're stuck in this mentality of what wasn't done before us.
Yeah.
And the main thing is I come from old school. I come from grandparents from down south who picked cotton, but they had faith. And we're losing those old school grandmothers that taught us that you don't need to be everywhere and you don't need to be hanging with everybody. Yeah. So it's not even so much that we have our head on the swivel because we're from 7 Mile or from 6 Mile. It's because we are not learning to be okay with not following the crowd, because we got to get some type of spiritual base to it. Whether you believe in God, you got to believe in some type of higher power that lets your spirit be settled to know if I feel it, I can't deal with it. Yeah. I'm not going to push past my feelings when I see that something about these people I'm hanging with just ain't right. And so now we're getting people who are set up because you're not following that spirit. Yeah. And it's like one of the biggest issues I have with my generation is allowing the kids to do what they want to do. Well, they don't want to go to church. No. You train up a child the way that they should go. So when they are old, they won't depart from it. If they want to choose another religion down the line, that's fine. Yeah. But they got to have some type of foundation to begin with, or they'll be lost from the start.
Yeah, that's 100. I agree with that.
Yeah, good point.
Good point.
And another thing to speak to that again, and I agree with you. You know, we are in a time where there aren't as many elders as there used to be.
No, there's not.
Yeah. We need to do a show on that.
Yeah.
You know what? It is a bunch of elders, but you got the elders calling the young guys big homie because they got money, and we're so caught up in money that we're forgetting the things that matter.
Yeah, that's
where's your integrity?
Yeah.
Where's your standard?
Where's your morals? Yeah,
we have elders, but the elders aren't teaching and mentoring the way they used to.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. You know, there was a time where the elders demanded respect.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you can be big home, but you ain't. There's certain things that you're gonna do and say, in a certain way you're gonna behave, you know, around your elders. And I feel as though now there's a blurred line. You know what I'm saying? With you know, again, and that too comes with a lot of people nowadays, like you said, just kind of chasing money.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. It's like now, you know, you really can see that money is God to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's where the blurred lines come in. It's like, how can you be somebody, you know, younger than you, big homie, based off of how much money they make? Like that's never,
because the thing that's missing
that was
is
never nothing that we grew up with. You know what I mean?
The elders of the day, they respected wisdom more than money, because wisdom takes you farther than money ever could. You could have all the money in the world and not make it past tomorrow. But if you got wisdom, you can have just enough. And it's like, we got to get back to family. We cannot keep forsaking family. That's the one thing we cannot choose in this life. God gives us choice over everything except family. That's the one thing he chose for you, which means it's a blessing. Whether you like them or not, you got to deal with them, because there's a reason God gave you that set of people to be around. And we cannot forsake that, because grandma, she said, I don't care what you do. Whether you on drugs, whether you hoeing, whatever you do, when it comes time to the holiday, we forsake our fellowship. Everybody's welcome to the table. You ain't got to bring nothing. And I don't even know how grandma did it, because she ain't had no job, but she paid for everything and fed about 100 people off of a fixed income, because it was all about fellowship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
We appreciate that.
Hey, we appreciate you calling in, man. Yeah, man. Hey, look, call in anytime, Dave. All right. We appreciate it, fam.
Absolutely, thank you.
Have a good one. All right. Yeah,
that definitely was a good point.
Yeah,
you know, and again, it speaks to everything that we just got finished talking about, which is kind of why I was tying it in. I like I said, to me, when I was reading about that, I'm like, wow. I'm like, this has never been brought to my attention, and then I just kind of went down that rabbit hole of, what is this? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And this is something clearly that a lot of us suffer from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just walking into a store in a certain neighborhood with bulletproof glass, you're gonna look around. You understand what I'm saying?
Now, do you think perhaps that if people were to minimize or damn near eliminating shit, just say cell phones or TVs and stuff like that, because I think a lot of this stuff will have your head on a swivel and feeling like that off of what you see every day, as far as even on the news. You know how like the news always want to go ahead and give you all these negative stories about this person didn't got shot, this person was in a car accident, you can't buy fucking regular food no more because they fucking putting vaccines or some shit, crazy shit in it. From every damn thing now, it's like everything has you questioning just life, damn near in general. You know what I mean? You leave outside the door, you know, are you going to come across somebody and shit that's going to try to sex traffic your ass? Are you know what I mean? Are you going to get killed by a fucking illegal immigrant? Like, it's always something. If you really want to be, you know, fucked up like that, just watch the news or watch TV. You know what I'm saying? Look at a lot of these, you know, even movies and programs. It's like the same old thing over and over again. Hey, look, say a young man and shit, you know what you're going to do? You either going to go to the fucking basketball league or you going to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Or you going to play football or you going to fucking sing and dance and shit. Or you know what I mean? Something to that degree.
I think
and then if you do sing and dance and shit, guess what you're going to probably be presented with? Say a Diddy party or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like,
I think the information is a gift and a curse. I know my hypervigilance is based off of things that I experienced growing up. And just, things I experienced growing up, but also working for the military, where they teach you got to be aware of your surroundings. But I think a lot of like the things that come from the internet can be very helpful, right? Like, now I know I'm never going to park between two trucks because it makes you an easy target. Right? So on one hand, that's good information. On the other hand, should we really think that every time there's two trucks and an empty spot that something's going to happen to you? And it does create anxiety, and the anxiety does create sleep issues and hypertension and all of these other things.
High blood pressure. All of those things. I think it's important too to note that, and it's to piggyback off what you said, because it's easier to control someone from a place of fear. You feel me? So when I think of these things and I think about what you just said, to me, the news is I don't view the news like most people do. I view the news as propaganda.
That's what I look at it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly
it's a tool.
It's a tool to control, like you said.
It's a tool. Like these commercials now are starting to get so.
I mean, the commercial. I mean, look at it like this. Every other commercial and shit is a pharmaceutical, pill commercial about this. If you got this, then you can take a pill for that.
Listen,
you got
that. That's here in this area,
because
the one thing that a lot of us don't realize, a lot of commercials are regionally generated. Did you see the commercial with the black conservative brother who was, and I forget what state he's running in, but pretty much he had a commercial with an AR-15, and he's basically like, had the Klansmen, and he said, we got to protect ourselves from these Democratic racists, and he had all these Klansmen, and he was like, because one day you really might have to protect your life.
I seen that before.
This shit blew my mind. And so in here, wild. I'm thinking about the symbolism in that commercial in terms of, gun rights, all right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool, and all right. But then I'm thinking, he said, we have to protect ourselves against these racist Democrats. And they were dressed in Ku Klux Klan outfits. Think about the symbolism in that. You
but originally, that's what they were. Originally
history for sure. I
what I mean?
But that was a play on a lot of shit. Of course.
Political bullshit. Yeah, of course.
You know, obviously, if you're a melanated person in this country, if you do your research, you'll know that blacks were originally Republicans and all this stuff like that. Favored. I'm going to say that.
Yeah,
they favored somewhere along the line because my biggest issue. Don't want to go off on a tangent now. And I was just talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, who she shared with me that she's a black conservative. I basically was telling her that I'm not really a fan of those guys.
All right.
Only because there's a gentleman who I once revered from Detroit, Ben Carson. My aunt when I was a kid, gave me his book, Gifted Hands, and I'm like, oh wow, this brother. But when this brother got into politics,
I don't like to like
they
when
made
people
him like a buffoon.
But put it like this.
I think he made himself look like a buffoon.
They placed him in the not so.
Well, people.
No.
Who?
I was
saying
he made himself
nobody else
look like
can
a fucking
control
buffoon.
you and make you look like a fool.
He started saying some ignorant shit.
Crazy shit.
Nobody.
Black men look like we bumbling buffoons.
Nobody can control you and make you look like a fool. You have to give in to that. He made
you gotta
a decision.
be a co-conspirator and that
you
type of shit.
You gotta be a co-conspirator. That's the perfect way to put it. No. And that's another thing my grandma taught me. You don't ever let anybody else make a fool out of you. If you're gonna be a fool for yourself, if you're gonna do it, that's on you. But don't ever let anybody else make a fool. Like that was on him.
What made him think he could run? He's never been in politics one day of his life.
And when he got in, I get what you're saying.
They set it up for him to. They set it up to look and say, "See, niggas, with money, you don't know what to do."
But listen. That brother had made some comments that I just said.
He was wilding. Yeah.
He made some comments that made me say, man, come on now. I'm starting to look at you a little different. Just be quiet.
They tricked him into that, bro.
Yeah. He didn't have
to. They tricked him and Walter Payton.
Let's correct.
Oh no, Herschel Walker. Wasn't Herschel Walker there?
He did not have to. He could have walked away.
Yes. Every black man that you said had no political history. None. And they do it purposely to say
to make him look fucked up.
Wasn't that Herschel Walker who was saying all that stupid shit?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, we're going to have to come back next week, man, and wrap this one on.
I'm coming back.
We definitely going to have to come back and shit for part 2.
It just made me think of one time, and I just want to say this before. I was at work one day, and this white guy asked me, he said, can I ask you a question? He said, why do you guys really look up to Reverend Jesse Jackson, and why do y'all call him that? And he was like, and why is what's the Al Sharpton? He said, why is that guy such a hero to you guys? And I looked at him, I said, hey bro, listen, if you relate to Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, this is no disrespect. Them motherfuckers is not my heroes.
Right.
Never
right.
They never was.
Never
they was fucking pawns from I knew that shit from way back when.
Period.
They was some pawns to me.
Yeah.
Because they always was the first ones on the scene with the loudest bark. Yeah. But I didn't really see. The only thing I ever seen Jesse Jackson do in my life was that time they utilized him to negotiate those hostages getting released. Hostages from being released. Outside of that.
Like sausages.
Those two dudes, man, I don't understand it. But I will. Yeah. You make a good point, Brother Miles. Okay, I'll give you that. Basically saying that throughout history, they do find special ones to say, we gonna bring you to the forefront
and just remember,
for the fuckery.
And every time they do it, it's always been the person who's been honored or bowed down to.
So they can bring them down.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway.
All right, y'all. Hey, look. Thanks for tuning in.
Hypervigilance. Look that word up, y'all.
Check that out, definitely, and shit. You know
and evaluate yourself for it.
Evaluate, exactly.
I like that. Okay.
All right.
Shout out to the woman next to me because this is Women's Month.
Women's Month. Yeah.
All right. Shout out to all the women out there. Shout out to the mothers and the grandmothers and the sisters and aunties, all that, the cousins.
All right, y'all got anything popping coming up soon? Y'all want to go ahead and plug it in real quick?
I'm next week with that because I got my
Oh yeah. We got a bunch of stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
For me this week.
All right, y'all. So look, we gonna see y'all next week. at 9 p.m. Thanks for tuning in to the GAMG, the Big Flex Strongcast. And we are out. Flex that thing on up like this, y'all. Winners win.